Actually, no, I was in the toilet and it was full. There was loads of people in there. Welcome back. I was told to wait, but we can't. And anybody who cares, it's half time, it's 2-0 to Liverpool.
They're all Man City in here. Right,
when you walk through the storm, hold your head, look high.
So,
She's speechless.
Sisters of Mercy, you joined the band, and it's a very unconventional start. I imagine it's quite an unconventional ride, isn't it?
Well, again, it's one of those things being brought up as a moment. It's no different. I came into a band, and it was a guitar-based band. After being with the Dead or Alive for the last 6 months, where everything was put into a sequencer, so it's nice to play guitar again. And so I was asked to join. I went back over to Leeds and started learning the songs with Craig and Gary Marks, and Andrew was upstairs and passed judgment. It's not very good, but young Wayne. He always called me Young Wayne, right? I'm a fucking year older than him. I guess that's more to do with, I don't know. And I learned the songs, and then we started writing some new ones, and I came up with a few tunes that he liked. And
how did the dynamic work? 'Cause I've read interviews with Gary Marks and saying it's always difficult to fit 2 guitar players there because the shape of the band kept moving. Those 3 versus that one, there was that 3 versus that one. Was it like that initially, or was it just like a gang like most bands?
No, it was it was a bit weird. I mean, for me, it was nice to play with another guitar player, and whilst it can't be claimed that Gary was a great guitar player, he certainly had something that was unique.
Oh, he had a great style.
He did have something that was unique, and that is really, really hard for a guitarist to have something that's unique. Whether you're a good player or not, you have to have something that's unique, and he had that. Not a lot of guitarists have got that, and I kind of recognised that early on, and what I had was also something that was different from him, so I just felt it complemented. I didn't really pay any regard to what Ben Gunn had played before, because basically Ben, I think, he just played bar chords, and it's like bar chords, and it's anathema to me. It was like, no, I don't like bar chords. And so we learned, they taught me the songs, Alice and Floor Show and Heartland and the rest of them, and I started to realise that these were really, really good guitar songs, some great guitar lines in there, and so we rehearsed downstairs, and Andrew was set up the stairs. We'd take a break at 4:30 for countdown.
Would he come and join you?
That was not ever. He never.
He wouldn't even join you for countdown.
No. He would insist shut up for countdown because Andrew, he likes his word games. Scrabble, things like that. Don't play Scrabble with him. Lasts days.
He's quite clever, isn't he?
He's too clever for his own good.
So from that point of view, you start to worry this is not a conventional band, but you've been in some quite odd bands, but this is actually slightly more out there.
Have I?
Yeah, well Derek Live's an interesting band, but Sisters is kind of beyond.
I didn't feel like that. It just felt like a guitar band, but with a drum machine. A drum machine because they didn't
pretty rare band though, wasn't it? A drum machine.
Yeah, but we didn't have any room in the cellar for a drummer. The drum machine just seemed natural.
Yeah.
And I mean, Eldritch actually started out as drummer, but he quickly realised he was rubbish, and thought, I'll buy a drum machine and sing. No, he doesn't talk like that.
But initially it was all good though, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah, no, it was for me, but in the first couple of months, first month or so, I was on the bus with Craig and Gary Marks, and they said, we want to have a talk with you, Wayne. I said, okay, what's this then? I said, we were thinking of leaving and forming a new band, do you want to come with us? Like, I've only been in the group, a couple of months. I haven't even played a gig yet. But, well, you know what? I think I'm going to stay where I am. Can you believe this? I was loyal to Eldritch. And so I didn't hear any more about it after that. Mark and Craig let it drop. We carried on. But it became very evident over the course of time that there were problems. I mean, Mark and Andrew lived in the same house, but they barely talked to each other. I mean, they use us as their intermediaries.
Yeah.
And it's a bit. I mean, I started to realise it's a bit weird. The dynamic was a bit weird, but
it sounded great, and that's
it
what
sounded great. And it's like, so what? The dynamic's weird. Whatever works. I know bands that don't talk to each other for years, and travel separately, and the only time they actually are together is when they're on stage, and it works. So be it.
Yeah, the magic's in the music.
Yeah.
But it got more difficult when you're in Strawberry, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the thing was, it's easy to be wise in retrospect, in hindsight. And I look back at that time now with maybe an empathy for Andrew. That
As a band leader.
He was the band leader, he was the lyric writer, he was the manager. I mean, he was doing everything, really. And it's in his nature to be in total control. He doesn't like not being in total control, as you probably know. And it's very hard for him to delegate. But at that point, all the tunes were coming from me and Gary Marks. And Andrew was having to write words for them. And so we went into Strawberry with all these tunes ready to record for the album. And we had, 10, 12 songs ready to go. But only a couple of them with lyrics that we've been playing live. I think Body and Soul was one, Walk Away was another. And it soon became evident while we were in the studio that Andrew was not doing what he should be doing, which was actually writing the words and concentrating the vocals. I mean, basically it got to the point where I'd work during the day and Andrew would work at night. But Andrew would spend his time working on snare reverbs or the bass drum sound, which are things you do in the mix, not when the song is still in its formative stage. So I've since come to know that you can only write lyrics when you're in that moment. You cannot force that. But at that time, none of us appreciated that. I certainly didn't. It's like, come on, pull your finger out, we need to finish this album. And so the album was delayed, but we still went out on tour. Andrew got ill because of the stress, I think, and also the fact that he wasn't really eating. I mean, basically existing on speed and living in a cupboard. And basically, he didn't see daylight for like 5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
He didn't leave the studio, seriously. And he made himself sick.
You live in the lifestyle as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I was just a guitarist.
Yeah.
You know what guitarists are like. It's like, they're dumb. And it's like, yeah, look at me. And they can be the coolest people on earth when they don't open their mouths. But you stick them in front of a microphone, God help us.
But was it the speed diet for the whole band, or was Andrew just a little bit further out there?
No, Craig and I were with him, but Mark never partook. Mark never. I mean, he never smoked. Mark, he barely drank. Occasionally he would drink. Occasionally, one occasion when he was sick on my head, I had to go and buy a hat, which ended up being the golf hat. Cover up the sick, which is actually quite a good story in the book if you've not read it.
But you can when you buy it later.
Yeah, it's spawned a million imitators. Not the sick.
So it's quite. If everyone's on speed, that's quite a strain on nerve endings, isn't it?
Yeah, but you don't see it like that at the time. You're young, and it's like, okay, this is energy. Let's do this, let's do that really quick and really fast, and it brings it. I mean, thank God there's a drum machine, not a drummer.
It's one less person to fall out with.
Well, no, the drum machine held everything down. If you had a drummer on speed, it was like what the mission were at the beginning. It was like an hour set would be played in 20 minutes. The mission. I mean, bless him, Mick liked his speed.
So how did it all unravel at the end? What was the point when it's the point of no return?
I don't think there was any one point, John. I think it was a culmination. I think the cracks were already there well before I joined, actually. And I think in some respects, I actually held it together in terms of being the middle ground for everybody, being somebody that was new and not part of the prior dynamic. You know, I never knew Andrew Taylor, I only knew Andrew Eldritch, and I think really if I hadn't been there, I don't think there would have been a First and Last Always, to be honest. Or if there was, it would have been a very different record. And I certainly don't. I mean, whilst it's dark lyrically, there's a lot of brightness on that record, to my mind.
Probably coming from your guitar.
I do think that, yeah.
Yeah. It's a very distinctive flavour you add to the band.
Well, as I said before, you know, it's fine. Guitarists having a unique sound is very rare, and I recognise it in Gary Marks, and I recognise it in others. You know, that there are other guitarists like Geordie. You know, who else is there? There's John McGeoch. Who? Johnny Marr. You know, yeah, all these are great guitar players because they have a sound. They have their sound. They have their unique character in what they do, and I think because the Sisters were actually quite dark, but I came from Liverpool, which was quite pop. I kind of brought that into the Sisters and brought colour to it where it was before maybe monochrome.
And it was a good balance between the two.
It was a great balance for that record. I mean, what we went through to get there, it was stressful, and it was, in the end, it was something that was divisive. And you could say that end justifies the means, but once you've done it once, you think, do I really want to go through this process again? And you know, you reach a point, you think, nah, you know what, life's too short, I want to be happy and enjoy myself and be with mates and have fun. And First and Last Always wasn't fun to make.
Can you listen to it now?
I didn't listen to it for years, and then Billy Corgan, actually, from Smashing Pumpkins, got in touch with me a couple of years ago and professed a love for that album and early Mission records, and was asking me about my guitar sound. And we became internet friends, and he said, listen to it. It's like, really? I said, yeah, listen to it. So I had to drive from home into Sao Paulo one day, so I got the CD and listened to it in the car for the first time in its entirety. 30 years, maybe 30 odd years. And I was pleasantly surprised, actually, how fresh it still sounded as a record.
Oh, it's a great record.
It sounds 1985, but there's nothing wrong with that. But it sounds like it has a colour, an energy, something that was special.
And that's all the elements, not just the guitar.
No, all the elements. Oh, absolutely all the elements. I mean, my favourite song on that is Barry Ann, because of the way that I wrote it and recorded it, and it was one of those moments I surrendered to and wrote the whole thing within, I don't know, did the whole backing track a couple of hours. But my favourite track besides that is actually 9 While 9, which was one of Gary Marks' tunes, and I think it's a fantastic tune and with a fantastic lyric and vocal. It's a brilliant song. That's my favourite song on the album.
It's only kind of like what ifs, you know, if only the dynamic worked better, could we have taken this another step?
Yeah, I mean, there was every intention to make another record after Gary had been kicked out of the band. Craig and I continued with Andrew. We went to America, we toured Europe, and then I went to Hamburg for a month, which was probably one of the worst months of my life, to try and write songs. Which is funny because I went there with every good intention, thinking, yeah, we're going to bond, we're going to collaborate. But basically, I was put at one end of the room with the Portage studio and said, put some guitars on this, and it was just a drum machine with the bass going boom, 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 for about 10 minutes. And it's like, but by that point, I'd actually written, I don't know, 10, 12 tunes and demoed them, which ended up being Serpent's Kiss, Wake, Naked and Savage, Sacrilege, Severine, and Wasteland. All these songs that became big Mission songs later. All these tunes I'd written for the Second Sisters album. I gave Andrew a tape before we went to Hamburg, and I asked him, "Did you ever listen?" He said, "Yeah, I don't like it." Okay, fair enough. Which, and it ended up working out all right for both of us in the end. So you can't regret that.
I mean, obviously, when you want to do your own thing, and he's doing his thing, and it was quite tense for a period, wasn't it? And do you kind of regret that at all, or
no?
You just let it wash over?
No, I mean, it would. When I first left the Sisters, Andrew asked me if I would play on the next record with him, and yeah, fine. I think it was only because within 3 months we'd formed a new band, Craig and I. We were out on tour with the Cult in Europe, and I really don't think Andrew expected us to actually get that together in such a short space of time. Obviously, it didn't help that we used the name of Sisterhood. But that was for convenience. I mean, it's easy to look back now and say, well, I can't really remember why we used that, but I think it was because of lack of imagination on our part. It was like, we had to come up with a name. It's like, okay, we've done these demos. What are we going to call it? Okay, just put the Sisterhood. All right. And that just kind of stuck. And until we were forced to change the name, which I'm now thankful for. But at the time, it got a bit silly in the press. But it didn't harm any of us. I think that the best promotion that Sisters of Mercy had was actually the Mission.
I mean, decades later, do you think if only me and Andrew just sit in a room and just sort this out, or does it not matter at all? It's such a long time ago.
It really doesn't matter, but at the same time, I would like to be in a room with Andrew, just him and I. It's like just talk, see how he is, because I hear stories from you and I hear stories from other people, and we were never particularly close or particularly friendly, but certainly on my part, there is affection there is respect, and there is maybe a caring for him, how he is these days. Again, it goes back to that way I was raised. I think it's like I hope he's all right. That's what I wish.
And that's quite a nice point to end this. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wayne Hussey. Thank you. So downstairs in the post room, you're going to be signing books, and there's books that people can pick up as well down there as well. If you don't know where the post room is, the volunteers can guide you down there. Yeah. It's near the bar, but it's not the bar. There's a bar there. There's a bar in it.
Oh, there's a bar in it. Okay.
Yeah, so you'll be okay. Yeah.
Thank you. How are you? Yes, I got it, yeah.
I'm going out the store.
One second.
nice to meet you.